We live.
Hey. Bro, shit, that's all we own.
Yeah.
Bro, shit, that's all we own. What's good, Brodies and Bays? This is the Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football Podcast Redraft. My bad over here. I'm trying to retweet out the live on Twitter. Make sure y'all go check us out on live and all of that. Hey, you ready? Well, we going into week 9 right now.
Week 9, bro. Like, man,
it's crazy, man. Look, I hope y'all done made it through the injuries. I hope y'all done made it through, the bye weeks already. And I hope you done made it through just the hard times in general, man. Dealing and willing through waivers and trading in your leagues. I hope all of that done prospered in your league for you. You know what I'm saying? I hope you've been listening to us and knocking out these 4-minute offenses and just picking up all the guys that we tell you to, dropping the guys we tell you to, man. Be real aware of that. Because we're going to do the same thing, man. We got the 4-minute offense this week. We're going to do something different for the main segment. I know we've been just doing the shout out, going through all the positions, telling you like who was a stud for this week. We're still going to do a little bit of that. But we also going to tell you who our mid-season MVPs are when it comes to fantasy football, man. I haven't asked Vic who his are. He haven't asked me who mine is. I told him, bro, my shit kind of funny when I get to a couple positions. So I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to hear who he got. We might even get to ask Avo, do he got a fantasy MVP? We just threw this on him on the fly. So let's get straight to it, Vic and Avo. How y'all doing?
Good, bro.
Oh, man, super solid. Feeling great.
All right, that's
feeling good.
Up.
What's good?
That's what's up. Shots in the building.
Do I get that out the way now or later? Or fuck it, I can do it now.
Ooh, we starting with shots?
Well, since
Start
you lost, you explain why you got to take a shot.
All right, so going back to last week, we had a bet.
Yeah.
Going back to the Sunday night primetime
game.
We had the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Going to Minnesota.
Yeah. Backup plan.
Yeah. And the bet was who's going to have the better performance from a wide receiver standpoint. So we had CeeDee Lamb, second-year wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, go up against Justin Jefferson, second-year wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings.
Shout out Diggs.
I took Justin Jefferson.
Shout out Diggs.
Who'd you take, bro?
I took CeeDee Lamb, who's going to have the better week.
Yeah, and hey, CeeDee Lamb did. He put the better numbers, man.
With the backup.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, man. Like, he couldn't get going. I guess that Trayvon did.
That locked
him up, man.
Come on, bro.
Clamped him up, man. So, yeah.
Damn.
I lost the bet.
And then Jefferson got a little banged up, too.
Yeah, he did.
But that was later when he already took the L, bro.
That's true. But, bro, like, even for CeeDee Lamb to get that done with a backup QB and Cooper Rush.
Yeah. Cooper Rush looked good, man. He looked like he knew what he was doing. I told Vic, I poured his shot for him. I'm going to sip a little bit of this wine as he take his shot.
Look at this shit over
like a loser do. Shout out to Justin Jefferson. My boy.
That's that, man.
All right, so we can move past that. What we're going to do is we're going to do a quick just recap of the top guys that took off without going into super depth, but we do want to let y'all know who prospered this week. I like that word today.
All right, man, we'll do that, man. So starting with the QB position, and then we'll roll into our fantasy midseason QB from an MVP standpoint. But top performer this past week was Josh Allen, man. So he had a big game going up against the Miami Dolphins, division game. He usually, does pretty well against them, but 28 fantasy points, 249 passing yards, 2 passing TDs, man. So he had a top performance. All right, bro. We do got to shout out Mike White.
We do, bro. Did you see the bet guy put up?
Yeah.
Basically. He put up $100 that Mike White would lead the league in passing yards this week. I think he won like 125,000.
Yeah. So Mike White put up 405 passing yards, and he just needed Mahomes and also Danny Dimes to come in under that on Monday night. Secured the bag, bro.
I'm thinking to myself, I just told this to OG. I wouldn't mind wasting $5. If I can get about 5 people that wouldn't mind wasting $5, we should start betting on some of these long shot, just one things, like not trying to put together a whole little parlay. Just one thing that seemed like a long shot and just put $5 into it.
Bro, I'm down. Super down.
We'll talk about
we'll take this offline.
We got to take that offline. A lot of logistics there. Tax records and recordings. But we'll figure it out.
We don't want them to know.
Yeah. We outside. All right, man. But yeah, man, let's get back into the fantasy MVP, from a QB standpoint. But definitely want to shout out Mike White. He had a big performance stepping in. So
yes, sir.
Want to acknowledge that. All right, bro. So far, this point in the season, we're basically midway through the season. From a fantasy standpoint, of course, we know the playoffs start week 15.
Yeah.
Depending on how your league's running. I know there's a bye week 14, so most likely week
True
15. Some leagues may start week 16 and go through week 18. We'll see. But go ahead.
All right, so can I do the quarterback MVP? I want to go first.
Yeah.
And I want to go first on the tight end MVP just because I want to go second on running back and receiver. Is that cool?
That's cool. But
right,
before I actually read off who's the top performer right now, go ahead and give me your fantasy QB at this point in the season right now.
All right, look, we're going to go with a guy that some people were skeptical about. I was one of the guys who were excited, man. Like, dude, Sean McVay is a great, coordinator, great offensive mind. They went and invested in this guy, so they're going to give him all the opportunity to throw the ball. That offense is gelling, and they ain't doing nothing but stacking up on defense now that they got Von Miller too. Mr. Matthew Stafford, man, he's balling. He got all the receivers gelling. He got Higbee looking decent, and he's making he's doing so well in the passing game. He's creating for Dale Henderson, and that offense is clicking, bro. I really like Stafford. He's a guy that you didn't have to pay for early. He's a guy that, if you wait, he was probably being drafted somewhere between 10, 15 when it comes to like quarterbacks. And he's a stud. And he's actually quarterback 2 right now. So I love that. He wasn't either you loved him or you were unsure going into the offseason. And that's the perfect, hey, we're going to wait for quarterback. That's why I say you wait for quarterbacks in your draft. You end up getting a QB too late.
Yeah, and just add on to that, Stafford, he has 2,400 passing yards right now, 22 passing TDs, and 4 interceptions. So he's taking care of the football. So
yeah, bro.
When that ball's in the air, they definitely doing some damage with it. Of course, Cooper Kupp's his favorite target.
Facts.
And of course, we can't forget about Robert Woods. He hit the end zone this past weekend, and like you said, Tyler Higbee's a nice piece, and even Van Jefferson's getting going, man.
Yeah,
so it's good to see him getting going from a number 3 spot. So fire. All right, DJ Avo, do you have a fantasy QB at this point, midseason QB MVP?
Well, it literally would have been Stafford.
Okay.
He is definitely on the squad. He's about the best thing smoking on the Dynasty squad for me.
Facts.
Facts. But so I will go with the guy I've been betting on all year. Man, that man Aaron Rodgers been playing pretty decent.
Yeah, bro.
He's been holding his own. He ain't been putting up the biggest points every single week, but he definitely been consistent and holding his own every single week. And I appreciate that because I also got Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams on separate teams, but I got them. So it's like I appreciate him doing what he's doing.
And he's balling, and everybody know what he's doing. He's going to Adams, and it's really they didn't do anything to upgrade the receivers, and he's still doing what he's doing. So shout out to Aaron Rodgers.
And even shout out to him going into Arizona with no weapons.
Basically,
and still
very impressive.
Randall Cobb
on the road, bro.
And I actually got Randall Cobb. And you said to play him. I think
Avo don't listen to
all
us.
that. Bro,
I don't think Avo listens.
I be reposting and look. I be like, dang it, I forgot to look. I just do it. I'll be like, dang, well I didn't because I got him.
Avo don't.
I got him,
bro. These past 3 weeks,
it's been consistent.
I've been on.
You've been on fire.
I've been on this 60%, 6 out of 10. I can't get over that hump, man.
Still on fire, man.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get into the 70, 80. I just want to just have a week. I'm not saying I'm gonna hit that every week, but I just want a week where I get that 70, 80%.
You're gonna get it, my G.
It's gonna bounce right for you.
But this past 3 weeks been at 60. But just add on to Aaron Rodgers, bro. So right now he's a QB9. So 1,800 passing yards, 17 touchdowns. Like you said, man, he's basically just, I don't want to say he's managing the game, but he's taking care of the football.
Yeah,
he's playing efficient. He's finding the weapons. He knows when to take his shot. He's just playing smart football at the end of the day.
Doing what he need to do to help out and get them dubs.
Yeah. All right. Before I looked at who the number 1 performer is right now, midway, I had this guy as my MVP. Tom Brady. I actually got him.
Facts.
This is a guy who I've taken late in the startup, from a redraft standpoint. But he has 2,600 passing yards, 25 passing TDs, 5 interceptions, 198 fantasy points. So he's the number 1 QB right now, midseason. And you can just see it, man. Every week we talk about him breaking records. We see him throwing 4 touchdown games, 5 passing touchdown games. He's on fire. It's like he's playing pissed off, man, with something to prove. So I told Dot over the weekend, I was like, hey, Jameis holds the Tampa Bay Buccaneers records for most touchdowns, which is 125.
Tom going to want to reach that shit.
So Tom's going to definitely – I see Tom sticking around for at least another 2-3 years just to supplant himself within the franchise for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because, of course, he already owns a lot of Patriots records. But why not own a lot of the Tampa Bay franchise records as well? So speaks volume to Tom, man, and he's the number 1 performer right now at the QB spot.
He has the best receiving core in the NFL, too.
He do.
With a healthy AB, Godwin, Evans, Gronk, OJ. The core is crazy as fuck.
Yeah. And your guy, Matthew Stafford's number 2, so 182 fantasy points. So that just kind of lets you know the kind of pace Tom Brady's setting, leading the pack.
Facts.
All right, bros, let's transition to the running back, man. Who's your midseason running back MVP right now?
You got to go first. I'm going to go after y'all.
All right, I'm going to go first, man. I got to give it to Derrick Henry. Like, I know he's injured, so his season's done. Most likely it's done. I know they said they might try to have him come back right before the playoffs. We'll see. But really, I think that's going to come down to if they're even in a position to compete in the playoffs.
Facts.
They might as well, consider just shutting them down if
I agree.
Nothing to play for. So.
I agree. But he's a stud, bro. He was one of the best players in the NFL, even like in MVP contention.
Yeah.
At running back this year. So shout out to him.
Bro, but just to hit on some of his stats, 937 rushing yards. Hey, killing it on the ground, bro. 10 rushing TDs, 192 fantasy points. The number 2 running back so far only has 151 fantasy points. So that just kind of lets you know the type of pace Derrick Henry was setting and leading the charge at the running back spot. So.
He has 300 plus more rushing yards than number 2, which I think is Jonathan Taylor in the actual NFL league. That shit's crazy.
It's gonna take everybody about 2 weeks to catch up.
Facts.
Yeah, so Derrick Henry will still most likely
be 2 weeks outpacing you.
He's gonna be top 10, and y'all.
He's still gonna be the RB1 for like the next week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
That shit crazy.
Yeah. All right, DJ Avo, do you have
I do.
Mid-season RB MVP?
I do. It is definitely Aaron Jones.
My guy gonna name every Packer.
Maybe not.
Except Robert Tanya.
Get Wilson.
But like the way he's been not just running the ball, the way he's been catching the passes also. So like, it's more points. I'm trying to get these dubs.
He gotta be top 10. I know people worry about him, especially in Dynasty, knowing that Aaron Rodgers might leave next year, but he looked like he's there to stay and do his thing. He signed that contract. Hey man, it's green light for Aaron Jones. He's balling.
Yeah, Aaron Jones right now is the RB6. So 237 receiving yards. So like you said, doing damage in the air. 33 catches, 4 touchdowns in the air, 463 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 141 fantasy points. So he is the RB6 right now.
I got mine. Y'all ready?
Yeah, who's yours?
Who you got?
I'm going to get into a guy that wasn't drafted at all. The running back 8 in Dynasty, in fantasy right now. Mr. Cordell Patterson. My guy is single-handedly doing everything for the Falcons since week 1. Receiving, running, scoring touchdowns, playing intermediate in the receiving, going deep, Randy Moss and people in the end zone. He's literally doing everything. And he was on nobody's radar when it comes to being drafted. You telling me if I picked up the running back 8 off waiver wires week 1 and played him, and knowing that he was going to be a top 10 running back off waivers, that's how you win your leagues, bro.
Facts.
That shit's fire to me.
It's always a player like that every year. Last year was James Robinson.
Yeah,
I
bro.
can't even think about
he
who's
took
the year
you
before.
the dubs, bro.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody that added Cordell, but that's how it is. That first week, whoever goes off that week, that's who you need to add, just because clearly they've been featured in summer training camp, and sometimes you don't get to see all these guys in preseason just because a lot of the starters aren't playing. So week 1 is like, that's the show and tell. Whoever goes off, that's the guy for the year.
Facts.
All right, so speaking of Cordell Patterson, like you said, man, RB/8. I don't know what that equates to in wide receiver, but at the end of the day, man, 268 rushing yards, 333 reception, or at least passing yards, catching yards, however you want to put it. 32 catches, 2 rushing TDs on the ground, 5 TDs in the air, man. He's doing it all, like you said, 133 fantasy points.
And his numbers is only going up from here on out.
Yeah, man. So that's solid, man. And I know, again, I planted my flag on Derrick Henry, but of course he's injured. So I'm going to have you guys guess, man. Who am I pivoting to take the torch from Derrick Henry? Because I got to pivot from Derrick Henry.
It's either got to be Taylor, hometown guy, or got to be the guy you've been having a crush on. Pause. Because when I talked about who you preferred over all these backs, this was new to me. And when I found out you preferred Najee over so many backs, I said, damn, I got in on Najee. And now the way he's performing, it's either got to be Taylor or Najee.
All right, who you got?
Who you got to be Taylor?
I'm going with Najee, man.
Oh, man.
I got Najee taking the torch to finish as the top RB. Only because I'm just looking at his utilization, man. Like, he does it all for the Pittsburgh Steelers, like in the passing game, run game.
He the black Christian.
Yeah, man. I mean, I know we did that heavyweight episode, and it was Christian and Najee. Like, Najee's getting that type of workload that Christian McCaffrey gets. So,
yeah.
Najee Harris, rookie, out of Alabama. He's the RB5 right now, 142 fantasy points on the season, 479 rushing yards. Mind you, this is behind us Pittsburgh Steelers O-line that's not the greatest. 273 receiving yards.
Facts.
On 37 catches, 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns. So he does it all.
Turn the fuck up for Najee.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. That's the RBs, man. I do want to shout out top performer for this week. That way we showed him some love. Michael Carter, man. You know, that's our guy.
Bruh, turn the fuck up, man. They finally figure out how to use him. Yeah. He's a weapon. He's a weapon. Yeah. Use him like it. They use him in that passing game, man. And we knew that was going to be clutch for him going forward.
Special running back, especially for PPR format. 77 rushing yards this past week. 95 receiving yards on 9 catches. 32 fantasy points. Hit the end zone. Like, that's the Michael Carter, you know, you love to see in the Jets offense, man.
Facts. Shout out to Mike White.
Yep. All right, bros. Let's go and get into this wide receiver. So I'm going to come to you, Dot.
I'm going last again.
Okay. DJ Avo, who's your midseason wide receiver MVP?
Say Devontae Adams so it can be funny, bro. Please. Please, bro. It wouldn't be a bad thing. Please say Devontae Adams just to be funny, bro.
But what if? Man, you know what Devontae Adams.
Thank
man.
you,
on,
man.
I'm betting on Green Bay all year.
Thank you. Hey,
betting on him all year, bro.
He's been balling, bro.
It is.
He's been balling, bro.
Man. He's been holding me down. Like, bro, I'm making the playoffs, though. That's why I'm pushing.
They had a hard time week 1, and since then, that connection's been right back. So, shout out to Devontae Adams, bro.
And of course, he missed this past week with COVID, but he's still the wide receiver 5, man. So that speaks volume to the type of work he's been putting in. 52 catches, 744 yards, 3 touchdowns.
That should go up. That should go up.
So we definitely want to see that go up. I know we planted our flag for him to be number 1. You know, we were talking at double-digit touchdowns.
It's possible, bro. If he get a touchdown, touchdown for the rest of the game going forward, tell me that's not impossible.
Yeah, his double-digit touchdowns games are coming. So 144 fantasy points on the season. Not mad at it, man. But he got a long way to go, man.
All right, give me your receiver, man.
All right, man. My MVP has to be Cooper Kupp. I mean, he's just hasn't stopped since week 1. Just keeps going. So, number 1 wide receiver right now, 214 fantasy points. He's outpacing the number 2 wide receiver. So number 2 wide receiver has 176. Cooper Kupp has 214.
He's stunning.
He's about to lap the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's just that big of a gap, bro. But Cooper Kupp, 924 receiving yards, 63 catches, 10 touchdowns on 90 targets. Matt Stafford's favorite target, man.
Sheesh. And to be honest, he was going to be my fantasy MVP for receiver.
Okay.
But then I went and looked up a guy. You asked what his numbers equate to a receiver. It equals the wide receiver 9. So he's a top 10 guy. He wasn't drafted. Mr. Cordell Patterson. Nigga, you can put him at running back. You can put him at flex. He's still going to be a top 10 player.
That's true.
He wasn't drafted, bro. Yeah. So even if you drafted 2 stud running backs and he's not going to fit into that slot, Cordell Patterson is a top 10 receiver also. That's, bro, I know he was my fantasy MVP at running back, bro. But the opportunity of picking up a guy off the waiver wire and he stays top 10 at any position, especially one of those dominant ones, not just quarterback, not tight end. Running back, receiver being top 10 is important because those are the big heavy points that you need weekly. And he keeps on doing it, man. And like I said, it looks like opportunity ain't doing nothing but getting bigger. So, like, I did it twice because I want to give him his flowers and show love because he's been in the league forever. And he's always been used as a gadget player. And it looked like Atlanta found a guy that they want to feature all over the field. And all he's been doing is showing the fuck up. Hey, Cordell Patterson's my wide receiver MVP too. Just the importance of somebody off the waiver. Of course, I want Tyreek Hill. Of course, I want DK. Those are guys I drafted to be where they are in the top 10. That's what they supposed to do. But a motherfucker like Cordell and what he doing, that makes me feel like he's helping my team win. That's the beneficial guy because I didn't expect shit from him. So yeah, that's my wide receiver MVP.
That's fire. Because I just asked the question, what does that equate to for Cordell in wide receiver terms? Wide receiver 9. So that's fire, bro.
Hey, he a top 10 running back and a top 10 receiver. Get the fuck up out
I do want to shout out some guys, man. Jamar Chase, rookie wide receiver for the Bengals. He's the wide receiver 3 right now. Having a historic, crazy season. I know a lot of people were concerned about the drops and talking about, he can't see the stripes on the ball.
It's just the offense in general.
Yeah, man. Put all that shit to bed, man. Like Jamar Chase is balling. Hey, he's crazy, bro. So I love what he's doing. And then shout out to Deebo Samuel, bro. Number 4 wide receiver right now. So staying healthy.
Facts.
Primary, weapon for the San Francisco 49ers, even with a George Kittle. Of course, George Kittle's banged up right now, but even before that, they were looking for Deebo.
Deebo taking off.
All right, I do want to shout out top performers from a wide receiver standpoint this week. A.J. Brown had a number 1 performance, 31-point game. I don't know why dudes even try to tackle the guy like on his upper body.
You gotta let that shit go. You better go for
pointless.
You better go for what's been hurting it, man.
Lower body, but 10 catches, 155 yards and a touchdown. Monster game. That's what he does, man. Like you put the ball in his hands and somehow he just scoops downfield for like 50, 60 yards. He looked like a robot getting down there, but he's a big body, man.
That's my guy.
And then I do got shout out hometown Michael Pittman. He's currently the wide receiver 10 on the season. Monster performance, 30-point game, 10 catches on 15 targets, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. Carson Wentz's favorite target.
Facts. Officially going forward.
All right, bro. Let's transition to the tight end position. DJ Avo, where you want to go first?
It don't matter. I'll go first on this.
I ain't got nothing for tight end.
All right, I got one. Hey, this is a guy that probably was close to the back end. I don't think he was a top 10 going into the season. But you got to remember, we talked about, finding a tight end that's a quarterback's best friend. And Mike Gesicki, bro. He's been balling. He's the tight end 4 already, and he's been playing some games without Tua. And really, we wanted him because Tua is his best friend, and he's still been doing what he's doing. I'm guaranteed he'll probably be top 3 if Tua played all season because they have the best connection together, man. I think he played a couple weeks with Jacoby Brissett, and that was sketchy with throwing the ball. He still had a decent game, one of those games, but Mike Gesicki's balling. One or two of his favorite receivers, and they don't have the defense to stop anybody like they did last year, so they're going to keep throwing the ball. And Mike Gesicki's doing it week in and week out. Like I said, number 4 tight end, bro. Ball.
He plays like a wide receiver, but yeah, like you said, 101 fantasy points on the season from the 4 spot, 40 catches on 55 targets, 475 receiving yards, and also 2 touchdowns, man. So, like you said, bro, he's balling, man, and definitely like seeing him out there with Tua, getting that report going again.
Yeah.
My number 1 tight end, Travis Kelsey. So to me, you just got to dethrone the man, and of course, these past few weeks, teams just have his numbers, man. So they've really been game planning and scheming him, and taking him out the game script. But at the end of the day, he's still going to find ways to get his. So he's the number 1 tight end right now. 126 fantasy points on the season. Number 2 spot has 109 points. So usually we see Travis Kelsey creating this big wide gap, but I mean this year it's just been different for him. So you might start seeing a changing of the guards here pretty soon. But until then, 49 catches, 560 yards, 4 touchdowns, 72 targets. That's crazy, bro, for a tight end.
If you don't start turning it around, T.J. Hockenson and Mark Andrews gonna take that shit.
Yeah, Mark Andrews is on their ass. So it just goes to show, man, you can be patient at the tight end spot. Get you a tight end in the 5th round instead of going all early, first round, second round. So
facts.
All right. For me, man, my lesson learned, bro, I'm gonna stick to my late QB. This year, I jumped out and got a Josh Allen in the 3rd round redraft, and
it's cool to have him in your roster, but it's like
the confidence is there.
But you always end up short somewhere else,
and I'm short in that running back spot. Like, don't get me wrong, these past few weeks, Josh Allen's been balling, but he had a slow start. So it's like,
where you take him? Probably around 3rd, 4th round.
I actually got him in the 3rd round. All my leagues.
Imagine if you would have took Darrell Henderson with that pick instead of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That would have been a hell of a come up. Or Swift. Swift was falling to the 3rd.
Swift would have been there.
Yeah.
So that's my lesson learned, bro. Sticking to my late QB. And then also, I went 0 RB, late RB, banking on guys like Rojo.
That shit difficult to do,
That shit fucked me up. And then also, I did get some Kareem Hunt. I know he's banged up right now, but he should be back here in a couple of weeks. But those were my primary targets with get my quarterback, get my receivers I like, find some RBs. Because RBs emerge every year, like Michael Carter. People aren't checking for these rookies. You know what I mean? Unless you play Dynasty. So
James Robinson came back. Yeah. Shit happens. You know me, I think I done spoke this a few times, but I went all in on I'm gonna take one of the top 3 tight ends, and they make a difference so much. And like you said, bro, I've been having funny feelings towards Waller ever since I drafted him. I took him with my 2-3 turn pick. And I just regret it. I never take quarterbacks or tight ends early. I always figure it out. Like I said, I would have been able to figure out a Dawson Knox or a Schultz.
Yeah.
When you got somebody like Waller, you never feel like you need to pick up a tight end. So I sat and let another guy come up on the tight end off the waiver wire and just benefit his own team. And I'm sitting with Waller, and it never feels like I have a true advantage this year outside of week 1. It just sucks, but it is what it is. Hopefully come back from injury, bounce back, get right into the mix, and but those are 2 positions that with so much depth, I always feel like you can figure it out.
That's true, man. And Waller's currently tight end 8, so he did miss a game again with that, banged up injury. Unfortunately, that happened in practice. But to your point, only 82 fantasy points on the season, so no offense. Right above him, 87 fantasy points, Kyle Pitts, Dalton Schultz. So those are guys, like you said, you definitely could have got off waivers.
Facts, bro.
And even a Dawson Knox with a broken hand was coming back. So. And we ain't gonna talk about CJ Uzoma.
Yeah, and Ertz finally he traded. He looking good. It's just you can. Freiermuth is finally taking off for the past couple weeks. It's just you could have found some other plays. Yeah, but it is what it is.
So going forward, I'm sticking to the late QB. I think you're a late QB guy.
I've never jumped early on a QB. Ever.
I'm gonna get my RBs early.
Supposed to. Yeah, they run out. Redraft. They run out so quick.
And then from a tight end spot, stream. Like just get you one late. Just get you one that you like later on.
Or take a couple if you need to stream by matchup. Take a couple that you like and figure it out.
Yeah.
Somebody going to start taking off.
All right, bros. Before we get to this 4-minute offense, do you want to talk any injuries?
Oh, shit. Hold on. I got to get that loaded up. My bad.
All good. Before we do that, DJ Ava, where can the people follow you at?
Come on, man. Y'all know y'all can catch me on Twitch at Dynasty Bro Avo, and definitely follow the main Bros page on Twitch. I'll be going up on there every Tuesday. Make sure you peep that out. Other than that, on the gram, you can catch me at Avo Love. Let's go. Hey, yo, Vic, can we follow you at, bro?
Follow me at Chief Sosa FF, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast where you're listening, Dynasty Bros FF. And check out the Patreon if you want access to the rankings and bonus content, all that good stuff, man. Bros FF. And we got the free Discord that's floating out there. So if you want real-time advice, check that out, man, for free. So we drop that info at the episode descriptions or hit us up on social medias. I'll drop you the link.
All right, let's do this. We really don't have any.
Where can they follow you at, my guy?
Oh, follow me at Dynasty Bro Dot on Instagram and Twitter, and follow the main Instagram page, Dynasty Bros FF. My bad, man. I was just coming back to let y'all know I don't have no real injuries. I got some guys that's supposed to be returning to practice coming up, though.
Well, real injuries is Derrick Henry.
I know, man. All right.
We got to call that out.
Okay. This is sad, bro. In running for actual NFL MVP, best running back in the NFL in real life and in fantasy, hurt his foot, man. And, we sending prayers that you get back sooner than later. Don't worry about the season. Just make sure you do what's best for you. Make sure you're ready. Don't try to rush anything and jeopardize your career because you got one of those careers, those futures that can last for a few more years, still being solid. So that's the major one. And everything else is kind of like guys just went out, got banged up. But yeah, Derrick Henry, he's having foot surgery. They're trying to say if they make a deep run that maybe he can come back later. But it's just one of those things where it's like, don't put that on your franchise guy.
Man, I think their season's done. Like from a Titan standpoint, like of getting in the playoffs, like just look, you built your franchise around Derrick Henry. Take care of the recovery process. No need to shortchange that. So,
yeah.
But I do want to call out also Corey Davis coming back from a hip injury, but it's still something to monitor. I know they got a Thursday night game against the Colts.
Yeah, he coming back from the hip.
So that's a short week.
Elijah Mitchell's dealing with a hip injury right now. Sterling Shepard. Yeah. Tony came back into the game, so that was good. And Logan Thomas is plans on practicing this week.
Yeah, he's going to come back. Good. He's planning to come back after their bye week. So this is their bye week. So Logan Thomas should be back into the lineups next week. So he might be out there on waivers. But I'll probably want a 4-minute offense.
And Russell Wilson got his pins taken out his fingers. So I don't know what that means coming up, but, just watch out for that shit.
All right. You ready for the 4-minute offense?
Yeah. Let me get this clock loaded up. I got a new phone too, y'all, so this is all new to me. All right. You ready? Everybody ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right. Hey, well, I mean, Vic, go ahead and start.
All right, man. The first guy who I want to pick up in the 4-man offense is Mr. Jordan Howard, bros. Actually, I thought you was going to go first, so I was going to flip the stats. But it's all good, man. So, look, everybody thought Kenneth Gainwell was going to get a lot of looks and opportunities. Of course, we heard about Boston Scott getting some run, too. But Jordan Howard came in, stepped in, put up 17 fantasy points on 12 carries, 2 touchdowns. He looked good, bro, especially in the goal line situation. So, hey, give me Jordan Howard, man.
And I'm going to just piggyback because you probably should try to target both if you got the space because they had the same amount of carries. I am going to talk Boston Scott. Kenneth Gainwell was the only one that didn't look efficient this week. But Boston Scott had the same 12 carries, had 80 yards. He had 2 touchdowns too. And he actually gets a little run in the passing game. So I don't know who's going to be the top guy, but all we know is that offense has been so bad, but they flourish in the late quarter. So go get them because the defense sucks. The second half of the game, they'll be doing a bunch of garbage touchdowns and getting garbage yards. So whichever one it is going to be good going forward. But I'm going to talk Boston Scott. That's my guy right now.
All right, man. It's a guy I'm not excited about, but I do want to talk about him. Adrian Peterson, 36 years old. I know he just got signed to the Titans. Look, I think we're about to find out real quick. Derrick Henry special. He did all that behind that O-line that doesn't have a Pro Bowler. I don't see 36-year-old Adrian Peterson carrying that torch. So the guy who I really want in that backfield, I'll take Jeremy McNichols, the guy who's been involved, especially in the passing game. That's who I prefer. I'm not excited about Adrian Peterson, who we've seen on the decline, even going back to the Detroit situation, even the Washington football team situation. I'm cool, but just putting it out there, if you are desperate, I'm not mad at it, but I'm cool.
I know Kamara fans ain't going to like hearing this, but pick up some Taysom Hill. He should be back from his concussion. He was a top 12 quarterback due to his rushing ability and Sean Payton keeping him in scoring situations. So, Jameis went out. That's what I should have said. He's done with the ACL injury. Yeah. But, Taysom Hill is going to be a top 12 quarterback with that rushing ability.
All right, man. How much time we got left?
You got it. 1:53.
All right, bet, man. Hey, if you need some tight end help, Albert O, tight end for the Denver Broncos. He played 50% of the snaps last week. He stays involved. And also Noah Fant's out this week with COVID. So even like before, Noah Fant going out, Albert O, he always stays involved and gets some catches. Like you see this athletic guy getting a pass, you think it's Noah Fant, you look up, it's Albert O. So need some tight end help, streaming. This might be a good play this week against Dallas.
True. I'm going to go into one more quarterback, man. Let's just talk Justin Fields. He finally had his takeoff week, man.
Yeah.
I love the way he looked. I don't know if that means anything going forward, but, he has good pieces in Mooney. He has good pieces in Allen Robinson. The running game is solid. I love some Justin Fields, man. And if this was his coming out party, man, it's all thumbs up for the rest of the weeks.
All right, bro. Any drops?
Nah, I got another pickup, bro. We talked this last week, and I don't know what it's gonna mean, but Elijah Moore went 6-6 for 67 yards, man. And this is second week in a row with over 6 targets. So I don't know what that means. Crowder was there. I know there was no Corey Davis, but this is a guy they drafted early. We know it's explosive, and I think they were just waiting on ways to get him involved, bro. And if him and Michael Carter can start being involved, I think that offense can look explosive like it did this past weekend.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, but as far as drops, I don't want to Deshaun Jackson. I don't want to talk. Man, we do need to do a shout out for Calvin Ridley though.
Yeah,
but you can drop him, but respectfully.
He might be able to go into your IR spot.
Yeah.
Depends on how your leagues are set up. But he's, basically just chalking it up to mental health. So, we respect the decision, and that's just the climate we're in now. You got to respect when people want to buy out due to, mental health. So, hope everything gets taken
care of.
Gets turned around for him, and everything, gets better for him, whatever he's dealing with.
I got a question of a guy that I don't want to put in here, but I'm gonna ask you on the way out.
Probably the same guy, but go ahead.
I don't know. What about Jamal Agnew, bro?
Okay.
Bro, he just had 12 targets this past week, and he's been getting involved, and Trevor's been looking his way for like 3 weeks straight now. He was making plays on kickoff and punt return, and then they started just utilizing him in the offense, bro. Chark's been out. Marvin Jones ain't doing what we want him to do on a week-to-week basis. Could this be a thing? Because they're going to be down so much, and this is a guy that's just making plays. I know the name doesn't sound sexy. You might not even realize what he's doing, but he's been, I think, over the past 3 games, he's been at 11 fantasy points, 13 fantasy points, and this past weekend basically had 16 fantasy points as their primary slot receiver.
Bro, snap percentage been going up, 72% of the snaps. I haven't been paying attention, but yeah, I'm about to. So
6 catches, 38 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah. I like it, man. I mean, they always gonna be a negative game script, so
yeah. And you had a random guy on the fly?
Nah, I mean, I was gonna just drop Henry Ruggs, man. It's unfortunate. We'll touch a little bit more on the Dynasty episode, but you could drop Henry Ruggs, man. So involved in a DUI situation that took someone's life. So it's unfortunate.
Drop him disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
All right, man.
And let's get the fuck up out here on that.
That's it, man. Hey, you want to walk us out?
Ava, walk us out on that note.
Hey, man, y'all make sure y'all stick right around. We right back like maybe 5 minutes, maybe less minutes. But either way, you stay right there. So we coming right back. We got to do it for the Dynasty. Let's go. We the bros.
We the bros.